Let's do a still life today of some old school gadgets. These are mostly objects with a similar finish. They're all kind of shiny and neutral in hue. Let's do this. I have Procreate. Here's our stuff. So I usually like at the beginning to work with a really tiny canvas. And I'll make it really small like this. So it helps me get an overview of the whole thing. And then gradually over time, I'll start getting closer and closer and increasing the scale of this image until I'm finally into detail world. But I'm not going to start there. I'm going to start in very, very small, in a very, very small scale. And I'm going to start with sort of an average. I'm going to try to find an average of what this whole scene is presenting inside my eyeball. See, it's kind of like a kind of a dull red. You could say is sort of our average. So I'll just fill that in. Just that'll be our starting tone. Imagine that we have some kind of dumb glasses, that when we put them on, we can see things objectively. Your eyes are dumb. They don't know what things are, and so that's what makes them uniquely objective. Somewhere inside your brain is the department of knowing stuff, but we're going to stay out of there, and we're just going to stay in the eyeballs. I have to tell myself that I'm really just looking at the light source. It just happens to be reflecting off of a bunch of things before it gets to my eye. The quality and texture of the light will change depending on what it comes into contact with. Scattering is what happens when that light reflects. Depending on the roughness and texture of the material, the light will get softened when it bounces. And each different material here has its own signature. Don't lick that, please. So the material from these objects is modulating the softness of the light, but it's not really having any effect on the color of the light, except for this old Game Boy. Things that have a colorful material have a different kind of transaction with the light source. They will absorb or subtract certain wavelengths from the color of the light source. And that is called absorption. Hey, stop being gross. Absorption will absorb some colors and spit out others. In this case, the Game Boy is absorbing blue and spitting out yellow. You can see the internal spectrum of the light source in this instance of diffraction. And diffraction will separate its reflection into its spectral components. If you can forget about the objects with the help of your dumb glasses, then you can just see and paint the light. And if you just paint the light, the objects will take care of themselves. And eventually you will have a readable image. Check it out. Hey, stop! God, jeez.